that our dignity is inherent and woven to the very soul of our nation, not granted by legislative decree. They serve as a timeless reminder that the true strength of our republic rests with its citizens. These rights are not mere words on parchment. They are a sacred promise we carry forward, a promise carried by those before us, men and women who dare to declare a nation founded on the radical idea of freedom. Our nation, though imperfect, strives ceaselessly to honor this promise, to form, as our Constitution declares, a more perfect union. Today, we recommit to that purpose, ensuring that liberty shines for every American, from every walk of life. Of the Civil War called our nation the last best hope of America. These words resonate today as we face our own challenges, division, uncertainty, and the weight of progress yet to be made. Yet Lincoln's hope endures because we are a people who rise together. At the heart of America, we are neighbors who rebuild after tragedy, volunteers who serve our communities, and citizens come together to shape our future. In this spirit, we come before, not just as a memory of those who came before us, but as a call to action. Ronald Reagan reminded us that freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It is a flame we must tend with care through our courage, our compassion, and our commitment to justice. Freedom means not only the right to speak and live as we choose, but also the responsibility to listen, to learn, and to lift up those whose voices have been silenced. As we celebrate tonight, let us ask ourselves, how will we pass this precious gift to the next generation? Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing a nation gripped by fear, declared, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." These words rallied a generation to overcome economic collapse and a global conflict. Today, his words remind us to face our challenges with the same determination and resilience. We are not a people who shrink from adversity. We are a people who dream, who innovate, who build. For 250 years, the American people have shown the world what is possible when we refuse to give up. Let us heed the wisdom of George Washington, who spoke with the sacred fire of liberty. That fire burns in our communities, in the teacher who inspires, the soldier who serves, the parent who sacrifices, and the child who dreams of a better tomorrow. Each of us has a role in shaping this nation's future, in making it a place where opportunity knows no bounds, and justice is not an ideal, but a reality. Let us also reflect on what Thomas Jefferson called the bold and doubtful choice of independence. That choice is not just for 1776, it is ours, every day. We choose to stand for liberty, to bridge divides, to build a nation that reflects our highest aspirations. Let us celebrate not only what America is, but what she can be. A beacon of hope, a land of possibility, a home for all who cherish freedom. In 1775, the spark became a flame, lighting lanterns in Boston, carried by riders through midnight streets, one if by land, two if by sea. Men and women who would never see their names in books stood shoulder to shoulder, fighting for the freedom they had never known, yet believed their children should. On July 4th, 1776, words turned the flame into a revolution. Ink on parchment declared an idea that shook kings and crowns, that all are created equal, that liberty is worth every sacrifice. And so a nation was born, fragile, unfinished, yet determined. A nation founded on the principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And when brother turned against brother, the sky itself seemed to burn. The Civil War cracked the nation's bones. From its ashes rose a promise renewed, in a union tested, yet unbroken. Following the Civil War, waves of dreamers crossed ocean, bringing hands, hearts, and hopes to the shore of opportunity. From the hammering of the golden spike to the smoke of the great steel mills, we forged the continent together, stitching north to south and east to west with ribbons of iron. Across America, cities rose, lights blazed, and inventions sparked. An age of restless energy where the American people pushed the boundaries of opportunity to achieve greatness. The spirit of the frontier, proving America's fire is fueled by all who dare to dream and push for the unknown. And when hard times tested the spark, when banks closed and breadlines stretched, America held on. The spark endured through survival and the unshakable belief that better days were to come. When the world called for help, America answered. On beaches and battlefronts far from home, ordinary people stood tall for freedom. Not just theirs, but the world's. Many never return. Their memory burns brighter than any firework ever will. And when the fog of war cleared, from the courage of the greatest generation came a new era of strength, hope, and opportunity. When the guns of World War II fell silent, America stood at a crossroads. Out of the rubble of war, a new dream was born. A dream of reaching higher. We fought not against enemies, but against gravity itself. Rockets roared, and for the first time in history, mankind walked among the stars. As the rockets touched the heavens, a journey unfolded below. A march for justice and dignity. The words of the Declaration that all are created equal, carried by voices refusing to be silent. In the decades that followed, walls abroad crumbled, and new doors opened at home. A promise continued, a promise shared with the world. On a quiet morning, our world was forever altered. Towers fell, and hearts broke as the sky filled with smoke. Yet even in our darkest hours, the spark endured in a nation united in resolve. From the revolution to today, triumph to tragedy, America's story is not one of perfection, but of perseverance. Always reaching, always rising, always moving forward. 250 years later, that spark still burns. Each generation fanning the flame with the courage and stubborn belief that tomorrow will be better than today. This is our story, a spark lit long ago, carried by millions. A promise enduring, a promise resolute.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. And then I really started living here today.
50th birthday, America. May your spark never die from the hearts of Deatsville nor the nation. Thank you to Harvest Fields Community Church and the town of Deatsville. God bless you all, and God bless America.